My beloved child, from this exact moment on, every single second carries a weight that your heart can already feel even if your mind hasn't fully understood it yet. Tonight isn't just another night passing by, tonight is the night the universe finally pulls back the curtain on something that was happening behind you, around you, and very, very close to you. You have always been someone who senses things before they unfold, the sudden heaviness in your breath, the tiny shiver in your chest, the unexplained discomfort around certain people, the moments when someone's smile didn't sit right with your spirit. All those signs were not accidents. They were warnings, gentle, quiet, subtle warnings from forces that want to protect you. And tonight, those warnings have grown louder because the truth has reached a point where it can no longer stay hidden. Someone around you, someone you trust, someone who has walked beside you in silence, has been weaving a plan, a thought, a silent trap built out of jealousy, resentment, or a deeply buried intention they never wanted you to see. And while you were being genuine, honest, and kind, they were observing you with an entirely different eye, an eye that watches, measures, waits, and quietly calculates the perfect moment to twist something against you. They know when you are vulnerable. They know when your mind drifts. They know when your heart softens. They know when you're tired enough to not notice the small betrayals happening right under your nose. And tonight, they believe you are blind to the truth. But destiny has a different plan. That is why you are hearing these words, because your spirit refused to stay silent while someone else was deciding your fate behind your back. Think for a moment, why did someone's voice sound tense today? Why did someone avoid your gaze? Why did a familiar person suddenly act too sweet or too distant? Why did a tiny argument, a strange comment, or an unexpected silence hit you harder than usual? That's because emotional energy never lies. People do. Their facial expressions do. Their tone does. But their energy betrays them. And the energy around one person in your life has been getting darker, heavier, more uncomfortable, almost like they're carrying a secret they are terrified you'll discover. But they didn't expect destiny to intervene tonight. They didn't expect a warning to reach you just in time. My beloved child, someone close to you is preparing a trap that doesn't look like a trap. It may look like a conversation, a misunderstanding, a small fight, a sudden distance, a twisted story, a manipulated moment, or a hidden plan. It may be emotional, spiritual, or personal. But its purpose is the same, to shake your confidence, to confuse your direction, to pull you into guilt or doubt, or to place you in a situation where their hidden intention finally takes effect. They may be smiling at you right now. They may be pretending everything is normal. They may be acting supportive. But deep inside, their thoughts are moving like shadows, silent but dangerous. You've been feeling something for days now. The strange heaviness in the morning. The sudden overthinking at night. The moments you felt watched even when no one was looking. The conversations that didn't feel real. The intentions that felt hollow. These were signs your spirit was picking up on frequencies that your mind hadn't decoded yet. And tonight, the decoding has begun. The truth isn't coming gently. It's being pushed toward you because the moment of exposure is close. Look closely at your recent days. Who suddenly became too curious about your decisions? Who asked questions they never asked before? Who wanted to know things that are normally private for you? Who reacted strangely when you shared something positive? Who changed the subject when you talked about growth or blessings? Who suddenly acted cold, distant, or irritated for no reason? Who acted overly helpful, almost like they were studying you? These clues weren't coincidences. They were pieces of the larger truth forming around your life. The person closest to you, not the loud enemy, not the obvious hater, but the quiet one, is the one destiny is warning you about. Not to scare you, but to prepare you. Because preparation is the only thing that breaks a trap before it closes. My beloved child, someone has been speaking about you behind closed doors, not out of love, but out of frustration, insecurity, or jealousy. They've been twisting your words in conversations you weren't present in. They've been narrating a version of you that doesn't match the person you truly are. They've been planting tiny seeds of doubt in the minds of others, preparing an emotional ground where you lose footing while they gain control. The plan is quiet. The plan is subtle. The plan is disguised. But the intentions behind it are sharp, sharp enough to cut through innocence, trust, and stability. But hear this carefully. The trap they set for you tonight will not succeed, because you finally see the shadows. Your intuition is waking up. Your awareness is rising. Your spirit is refusing to stay silent. Tonight is the night the truth stands beside you like a shield. The same person who thought you were blind to their moves will now face a version of you that is ready, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Because when destiny chooses to protect someone, no trap can hold them. My beloved child, now that the shadows around you have begun revealing their shape, you must understand that every moment you've lived recently has been guiding you to this very truth. The universe doesn't scream when danger rises, it whispers. But tonight, the whispers have turned into signals, and those signals have wrapped themselves around your heart because your spirit refuses to walk blind into something that was never meant to break you. You may think you've seen betrayal before, but what's forming around you now is different. It's calculated, it's intentional, and it's coming from someone who knows exactly which emotional threads to pull to make you question yourself. They want to confuse your mind, weaken your confidence, shake your sense of direction, and place you in a trap where you start doubting your own intuition, because a confused heart is the easiest to control. And that's what their plan relies on. Think of the moments this week when conversations felt strange. Think of the small misunderstandings that suddenly appeared out of nowhere. Think of how someone turned a simple joke into an unnecessary argument. Think of how someone twisted your words in a way you never intended. Think of how someone reacted a little too quickly, or took offense a little too easily. These weren't random moments. They were tests. They were probes. They were subtle ways to see how easily you could be pushed mentally or emotionally. And when they realized how kind you are, how forgiving you are, how trusting you are, they thought they could get away with more. But tonight, the truth is refusing to stay hidden. My beloved child, remember the moment recently when someone gave you a strange look, the kind of look that made you pause without knowing why. That look wasn't harmless. That look carried a thought behind it. A thought they didn't want you to notice. A thought they didn't want slipping through their face. A thought that carried jealousy, or fear, or insecurity, or revenge, or resentment. And the most chilling part? They've been carrying that emotion for longer than you think. You just didn't see it because your heart doesn't like to suspect people who feel familiar. But familiarity doesn't equal safety. Sometimes the most familiar face is the most dangerous one, because they are close enough to know where to strike. Pay attention to the shifts around you. Who suddenly started asking about your future? Who tried to know your next steps? Who wanted to know what decision you're making? Who pretended to support you but gave advice that pulled you backward instead of forward? Who suddenly cared too much about where you were going, what you were doing, and who you were talking to? These aren't coincidences. These are moves. Silent moves. The kind of moves someone makes when they're trying to position themselves before they make a decision that affects you. My beloved child, the energy around you tonight is not normal. It's tense. It's alert. It's protective. Something around your spirit is refusing to let you fall into the trap being prepared for you. And that's why you ended up here, because truth arrives exactly when betrayal reaches its peak. Someone's thoughts about you tonight are not clean. Their intentions are not pure. Their silence is not innocent. They might be acting normal right now, but internally, they're debating their next step, rehearsing their next lie, polishing their next story, or preparing their next emotional twist. You may not realize it yet, but earlier today, someone almost revealed their intention accidentally. Maybe they said something they weren't supposed to. Maybe they asked a question they shouldn't have. Maybe they slipped a comment that didn't match their usual tone. Maybe they froze for a split second when you mentioned something they already knew about but pretended they didn't. That moment wasn't small, it was the universe pointing at the real person behind the shadow. And now, let your mind go back. Who was the one who suddenly changed the subject too quickly? Who was the one who reacted strangely when you talked about a blessing coming your way? Who avoided eye contact today? Who looked a little too interested in your problems? Who became uncomfortable when you mentioned someone else's support? Who suddenly became competitive, or cold, or distant for no reason? These subtle changes are not accidents. These are cracks in their disguise. My beloved child, someone is preparing a situation where you look wrong and they look right. They want to twist a narrative. They want to create confusion. They want to make you appear guilty, irresponsible, emotional, or unstable in front of someone who matters. Maybe family. Maybe a friend. Maybe a partner. Maybe someone who trusts you deeply. They want to plant doubt. Doubt is the seed of every trap. Once doubt enters, the trap tightens automatically. But destiny is refusing to let their traps succeed. Your spirit has grown too aware. Your intuition has started connecting dots. Your heart has begun understanding patterns. You're seeing things you ignored before. You're hearing tones differently. You're analyzing silences more sharply. You're recognizing energy shifts instantly. And that awareness is exactly what the universe is using tonight to protect you. My beloved child, listen carefully now. The person setting the trap thinks you're too trusting to notice. They think you're too soft to question them. They think you're too emotional to see through them. They think you're too distracted to catch the signs. But they're wrong. The moment destiny warns someone, every hidden truth becomes visible, even if the person speaking the truth doesn't say a word. Their energy exposes them. Tonight, when you look at them, you'll know. Their eyes will shift. Their tone will change. Their silence will sound louder. Their movements will feel off. Their words will feel hollow. Their smile won't reach their eyes. Their presence will feel heavier. Because guilt has a vibration. Fear has a vibration. Hidden intentions have a vibration. And your spirit is finally tuned into it. My beloved child, a person close to you has misjudged your strength. They saw your kindness and assumed it was weakness. They saw your forgiveness and assumed it was blindness. They saw your softness and assumed you couldn't see darkness. But tonight, the strongest part of you has awakened, the part that sees through masks, through lies, through false sweetness, through fake conversations, through hidden resentment. The trap they planned will not catch you. The lie they built will not reach you. The misunderstanding they wanted will not hold power. The emotional twist they prepared will turn back toward them. Because destiny protects those whose hearts are sincere. But the exposure won't be loud. It won't be dramatic. It won't be chaotic. It will be quiet, silent, precise, certain. You will notice something small, a look, a shift, a moment, a sentence, and suddenly everything will click in place. You won't need proof. You won't need confrontation. You won't need answers. The truth will sit clearly inside your intuition, and your spirit will tell you exactly what you need to do. My beloved child. Tonight, you awaken. Tonight, you see. Tonight, you understand. Tonight, you step out of the trap someone built with quiet hands and jealous thoughts. Tonight, destiny rewrites the ending they planned for you. Because the trap they set was never meant to catch you. It was meant to reveal them. My beloved child, now as the night deepens around you, the truth that was hiding in corners begins to step forward, not with noise but with a silent force that you can feel pressing against your heart. This force isn't here to frighten you, it's here to awaken you. Someone close to you has been building a silent map around your life, marking the places where you are vulnerable, the moments when you lower your guard, the times when you speak freely, the thoughts you share innocently, and the emotions you give without filters. They've been collecting these moments like pieces of a puzzle, not because they cherish you, but because they've been waiting for the day when these pieces can be rearranged against you. And that day, my beloved child, is tonight. You may not see it physically, but spiritually, the map they created has already begun to tremble. Their plan depends on you being unaware, on you being trusting, on you being gentle, on you being distracted, and that's exactly why the universe pulled you into this message before they could take the next step. Earlier today, when you felt a strange emotional dip for no reason, the sudden heaviness in your chest, the unexpected frustration, the moment of silence that didn't feel natural, that was not just an emotion. It was your spirit reacting to a shift in someone else's thoughts about you. Because thoughts, especially hidden ones, always create ripples. And today, their thoughts about you carried something darker than usual. Maybe it was envy. Maybe it was anger. Maybe it was fear of losing control. Maybe it was frustration that you were growing in ways they didn't expect. Whatever the reason was, the energy behind it reached you long before the words or actions did. Think carefully, my child, whose voice felt slightly different today. Whose words sounded too soft, too careful, too unnatural. Who hesitated before answering a simple question? Who laughed in a way that didn't match their eyes? Who acted supportive but didn't feel supportive? The universe rarely tells you the name directly, but it shows you patterns, and those patterns become louder the closer danger gets. And tonight, the pattern is almost undeniable. Someone has been preparing a silent trap in the form of a misunderstanding, a twisted story, a manipulated emotion, or a situation designed to make you look like the reason for a problem you didn't create. They might pretend to be innocent. They might pretend they're doing nothing wrong. They might even act confused when things go wrong. But deep inside, they know exactly what they are setting in motion. My beloved child, you have always been someone who forgives easily, who trusts too quickly, who loves without calculation, who believes in the goodness of people even when their energy tells another story. But tonight, your heart is shifting into a new awareness, one that doesn't rely on words, but on vibrations, on instincts, on the unspoken movements of the world around you. And that awareness is what will save you. Because the trap this person is building doesn't require your mistake, it only requires your ignorance. But ignorance is leaving you tonight, because your spirit refuses to let you walk into something that would break you in ways you don't deserve. Think of the conversations that happened recently, the ones that ended abruptly, the ones that went in circles, the ones where someone avoided giving a straight answer, the ones where someone seemed too eager to know what you were thinking. Those conversations weren't casual. They were strategic. They were probes. They were a way to measure how much you've noticed, how much you suspect, how much you understand. And when they felt you were still unaware, they felt confident enough to take the next step. But they underestimated something powerful, the universe's timing. Because destiny always reveals darkness right before it tries to land on you. My beloved child, someone has been rehearsing a moment in their mind, a conversation where they twist something you said, a situation where they place blame on you, a narrative where they make themselves look innocent and you look guilty. They've been replaying it over and over, waiting for the perfect moment to use it. And that moment was meant to be tonight. But destiny stepped in. That's why you're hearing this. That's why your spirit feels alert. That's why your heart feels like it's paying attention to every detail. You weren't meant to fall into their web, you were meant to rise above it. Now go deeper into your memory, remember the person who reacted too quickly today. The one who seemed irritated by something small. The one whose words carried a hidden sharpness. The one whose eyes shifted when you mentioned something positive happening for you. The universe is pointing at that person without saying their name. Their spirit has grown restless because they know something is slipping out of their control. You were never supposed to catch on. But you did. You felt it in their silence. You felt it in their hesitation. You felt it in that tiny fraction of a second when their true emotion slipped through their expression before they masked it again. My beloved child, someone close to you fears your growth more than they celebrate it. They fear your strength more than they acknowledge it. They fear your clarity more than they admit. That fear is the root of their actions. That fear is the fuel behind their trap. Because when insecure hearts see someone rising, they panic. And when people panic, they create traps instead of support. They create lies instead of truth. They create distance instead of connection. And that is exactly what is happening around you. Someone close to you is losing control of the version of you they kept in their mind, the version that needed them, the version that listened to them, the version that depended on them, the version that stayed small enough for them to feel superior. But now, your spirit has outgrown that prison. And that growth is what threatens them. They sense it. They feel it. They see it in the way you speak, in the way you move, in the way you think, in the way you trust your own intuition more than their validation. And this shift terrifies them. So they're trying to pull you backward, using the only weapon they have, manipulation. They think they can confuse you emotionally. They think they can twist your reality. They think they can push you into guilt or self-blame. They think they can make you question yourself. But destiny has chosen you tonight. Destiny has placed a shield around you. Destiny has whispered into your intuition. Destiny has weakened their plan before they could execute it. Because the trap meant for you is about to collapse beneath the weight of truth. My beloved child, understand this, tonight isn't the night you fall. Tonight is the night you awaken. Tonight is the night your intuition becomes your weapon. Tonight is the night you finally see someone's mask not as protection, but as a warning. And when destiny reveals someone's true face, you can never unsee it. The person setting the trap will expose themselves. Their words will slip. Their tone will betray them. Their eyes will give them away. Their behavior will suddenly shift. And in that moment, you will know everything. Your spirit is rising. Your awareness is sharpening. Your intuition is exploding awake. And the trap someone built is about to become the cage that traps them instead. My beloved child, as the night grows heavier and the silence around you thickens, the truth that has been circling your life begins to step even closer, almost as if it is standing right behind the very breath you're taking. You may not see it with your eyes, but your spirit feels it like a faint trembling in the edges of your chest, a warning that something around you is aligning, shifting, moving in a way you were never meant to ignore. There is someone in your circle who has been watching your every step with a calculating mind, waiting for the exact moment when your guard is lowest, your attention is scattered, and your heart is soft enough to be pierced. They don't want to confront you directly, they don't want you to see their intention in their eyes, because they know you would recognize the truth instantly. Instead, they move silently, slipping their intentions into the smallest cracks of your day, hiding their next move behind a smile, behind a soft tone, behind a casual gesture that feels innocent on the surface but carries a shadow underneath. They think you're distracted. They think your heart is too gentle to notice. They think your trust blinds you. But what they didn't consider is that destiny sees everything, even the thoughts that people hide too deeply in their minds. And tonight, destiny is exposing the threads they've been weaving behind your back. Look closely at the last few days, not with your eyes but with your intuition. You felt an uneasiness when someone walked into the room. You felt a strange tension when someone spoke too quickly, or avoided speaking altogether. You felt your heart tighten when someone's tone didn't match their words. These were signs, my beloved child, signs that your spirit was nudging you, shaking you, pushing you toward awareness before something irreversible could unfold. People think they can fool you with their calm expressions, with their controlled reactions, with their rehearsed innocence, but energy does not lie. And the energy around this person has been changing, flickering, cracking like a mask that can no longer hold its shape under the weight of their intentions. They've been carrying jealousy toward you, not jealousy of who you are, but jealousy of who you are becoming. They've sensed your growth, your rise, the silent transformation happening inside you. They've noticed the strength you didn't realize you were showing, the clarity you didn't know was visible, the confidence that has quietly awakened inside your voice. And this scares them, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because your evolution threatens the control they once believed they had over you. Someone around you wants you to question yourself. That is the core of their plan. They want you confused, shaken, emotionally tangled in a web of doubt. They want you misled, misinformed, or misunderstood. Because when a strong person starts doubting themselves, that's when the trap works. And this person has been trying to set the stage for that doubt without you noticing. Think about the subtle shifts, the conversations that suddenly turned sour for no reason, the misunderstanding that appeared out of thin air, the way someone exaggerated something small, or made you feel guilty for something you didn't do. These weren't random accidents, these were intentional emotional triggers designed to weaken your mind just enough for them to slip their narrative into your life. But what they don't know is that your intuition has already surpassed their plan. My beloved child, something powerful happened inside you recently, a moment where your spirit rose without you realizing it. You saw someone's intentions, not with your eyes but with your instincts. You felt someone's discomfort when you were doing well. You sensed someone's hidden frustration when things started aligning for you. And because of that, their trap is already beginning to crumble. They think they have time. They think they are hidden. They think their thoughts are safe behind their silence. But tonight, their silence is louder than their words. Their hesitation is louder than their actions. Their energy is louder than their excuses. The darkness they've been carrying is spilling into their behavior, and the universe is positioning you to see everything clearly. Remember moments when something felt off, that was their real intention showing. Remember the faint shiver you felt when someone stood too close, that was your spirit recognizing their double face. Remember the sudden thought that flashed in your mind out of nowhere, that was intuition warning you. There is no trap in this world that can capture someone whose spirit is awake, and tonight, your awakening is unstoppable. They underestimated your ability to sense energy. They underestimated your capacity to see beyond what people show. They underestimated your heart, your mind, your intuition. But destiny didn't. Tonight, everything they've been hiding, planning, and pretending is beginning to unravel. When someone acts sweet but carries bitterness inside, their sweetness eventually cracks. When someone pretends to care but secretly wants you defeated, their mask eventually slips. When someone tries to keep you close while wishing for your downfall, their actions eventually expose them. And tonight, the exposure begins. You might not hear their confession. You might not catch them speaking. But you will feel the truth, stronger than words, sharper than proof, clearer than explanations. You will feel a shift when you look at them. You will feel a crack in their expression. You will feel tension behind their sentences. You will feel discomfort in your core when they walk into your space. My beloved child, destiny never warns without purpose. And this warning means one thing: their trap is about to fail. The moment they prepared to twist against you will backfire. The words they plan to use will turn into their own downfall. The situation they hoped would shake you will reveal who they truly are. Because when someone plots against a pure heart, destiny turns the plot into a mirror, reflecting their darkness back at them while protecting the one who walked with sincerity. You are rising into a level of awareness where nothing fake can stay near you. The person trying to pull you down is running out of ways to hide. Their lies are thinning. Their confidence is cracking. Their patience is breaking. And tonight, the universe is tightening the circle of truth around them. You will notice it soon: a slip, a mistake, a tone, a look, a careless moment. And when that moment comes, you will understand everything. You'll understand why you felt heavy today. You'll understand why your heart was restless. You'll understand why your thoughts wouldn't stay still. Because your spirit knew. Your soul knew. Destiny knew. My beloved child, as this final moment of truth unfolds, let your heart settle into what is about to be revealed, because everything you have sensed, everything you have ignored, everything you have brushed off as coincidence has been forming a pattern around you, and tonight is the night that pattern completes its shape in front of your spirit. You are standing on the edge of a spiritual turning point, the kind that doesn't come often, the kind that destiny reserves only for those who are being prepared for a higher level of awareness, protection, and clarity. And because this is the final part of what you were meant to know tonight, every word that reaches you now carries the weight of everything the universe has been trying to tell you. Someone close to you has been moving through your life like a shadow, soft, quiet, unnoticed, but carrying an intention that was never aligned with your growth. They have been observing your blessings, your rise, your energy, your opportunities, and instead of celebrating the light inside you, they have been calculating how to dim it. They have watched you smile while secretly hoping your smile fades. They have listened to your dreams while quietly doubting them. They have walked beside you while mentally distancing themselves from your success. And the most chilling part? They have pretended to care. Pretended to support. Pretended to stand with you. Pretended to cheer for you. But inside, their thoughts have been weaving a narrative that places them above you, ahead of you, or protected from you. And now, as destiny reveals everything, they feel the walls closing in around their secret because the universe does not let darkness stay in disguise forever. My beloved child, think of the moment when someone's reaction didn't match your happiness. Think of the disappointment hidden in their voice when you shared good news. Think of the forced smile they gave you when something finally worked out for you. Think of the irritation in their eyes when you were praised by someone else. These weren't random emotional slips, they were cracks in the mask they've been wearing around you. And the universe, in its infinite protection, has allowed these cracks to widen until the truth can finally spill out and drench your awareness with the clarity you deserved long ago. Because the trap they prepared for you, whether it was a misunderstanding, an emotional trigger, a twisted story, or a mental manipulation, could only work if you remained blind. But now, your eyes aren't just open, they are awake. Completely awake. And when an awakened soul looks at someone who carries hidden darkness, their entire facade trembles. Tonight, the person who tried to plant seeds of doubt in your life is becoming consumed by their own uncertainty. The person who wanted to see you fall is beginning to stumble in their own path. The person who wanted to confuse your emotions is being swallowed by the confusion of their own choices. Because destiny has a rule, what is plotted against an innocent heart comes back to the one who plotted it. Always. Without fail. And that karmic return is beginning to show itself around the person who has been silently acting against you. Their mind is restless. Their thoughts are chaotic. Their actions are shaky. Their energy is loud. And the universe is preparing to expose them, not through drama, not through conflict, but through a moment of undeniable clarity that will hit them harder than anything they intended for you. Now listen carefully, my beloved child, because this is where the truth becomes sharp and precise. Someone in your inner circle has been keeping an eye on your life not to support you, but to measure how close you are to rising beyond their reach. They feel threatened by your strength, by your growth, by your resilience, by your journey. They have watched you survive things they thought would break you. They have watched you heal from wounds they believed you wouldn't overcome. They have watched you stand up again and again even when circumstances should have pushed you down. And this terrifies them, because your survival exposes their weakness. Your strength highlights their insecurity. Your hope reveals their fear. Your progress overshadows their stagnation. And instead of choosing growth, they chose jealousy. Instead of choosing support, they chose resentment. Instead of choosing honesty, they chose manipulation. But destiny has chosen you. This final part you are hearing is the universe drawing a circle around your spirit, a protective boundary that no trap, no lie, no hidden intention can enter. From tonight onward, you will see people clearly. Their tone will expose them. Their silence will expose them. Their eyes will expose them. Their sudden distance will expose them. Their fake energy will expose them. And the person who has been setting a trap for you will be the first face that stands out in this new clarity. They may try to avoid you. They may try to explain themselves. They may try to act innocent. They may try to pretend nothing is wrong. But your spirit will already know. Because the moment destiny exposes someone, your intuition no longer seeks proof, it becomes the proof. My beloved child, the reason destiny waited until now to reveal this final layer is because your heart had to be ready for the truth. You had to grow strong enough to hear it. You had to detach enough to recognize it. You had to rise enough to confront it without fear. And now, you have. You are no longer the person who would be shaken by hidden intentions. You are no longer the person who would be broken by betrayal. You are no longer the person who would collapse under emotional manipulation. You are rising into a version of yourself that cannot be tricked, cannot be trapped, cannot be controlled, cannot be deceived. And this rise is exactly what the person plotting against you feared the most. Tonight, the truth you needed has found you. The mask they wore has cracked. The trap they planned has collapsed. The words they twisted will turn against them. The silence they used to hide will become their confession. And you will walk forward untouched, unharmed, unbroken, unshaken. Because destiny does not reveal darkness to scare you. Destiny reveals darkness to free you. And tonight, my beloved child, you have been freed from the shadow someone else created around your life. This is the final part. This is the final truth. This is the final awakening. Tonight, you see everything.